Didn't look too much into it, so it's Crypto Zoo with Logan Paul.
Yeah. Well, shoot, I got scammed out of that one right there too. So
This is back to your story.
How we doing?
good. Oh my god, this is super weird. I'm not used to sitting here in this seat.
I know, it's so crazy. So everyone just tuning in right now, we're having a little bit of role reversal. We got Tyler up here sitting in the hot seat. He's usually behind the camera, producing this magical podcast that we like to call Back to Your Story. And we have the lovely Troy, which is Tyler's brother, my younger brother as well, on the ones and twos. How we doing over there, Troy?
I'm doing good. Nice to be here.
Yes, man. Thank you so much.
Of course.
All right, Tyler, how we doing tonight, man?
Ooh, I'm good, man. Good. And a lot of running around today.
The nerves feeling good, feeling a little
Yeah.
spicy.
Been eating at me all day.
Oh my gosh, yeah, man. I mean, when we first thought about this, I was like, "Fuck, dude, this is such a great idea." Doing a little internals over here, kind of flipping it up. What I like about the idea of doing this type of podcast is that we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different topics, really like hot topic issues that, kind of stem from 2022. And then we're going to end the episode on kind of like 2023 goals and like where we want to kind of see our life over the next year. And I know I've talked about it before on the podcast, or maybe I have, maybe I haven't. So I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, where, this was like the first year where I was like, I'm not really writing goals down. I'm kind of just doing shit that makes me happy. Right. And I don't know, for quite some time, I would say at least the past few years, 3 to 5 years, I was kind of writing down my goals. And so I'm like, just fuck it. Let's just do what makes me happy. And so we'll end the podcast on just kind of that note. But, Back to Your Story is all about the person's story and all that bullshit. And I know all of you that have been listening to the podcast know the flow of it. So we're kind of flipping that script and talking about hot topic issues from two different generations, from the mindset of Tyler, you're 20 years old, and the mindset of my old ass who is 36 years old now.
Yeah. Sounds good. What's it called? So I was thinking about goals. I'm not good at goals either. I'm not good at writing down goals. Because I feel like when I do write goals down and I don't achieve them, it like puts me into a deeper pit.
Yes.
So we'll get to the end of that. Get to that at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's like for so long, people, they write down their goals, and when they don't achieve them, they beat themselves up about it. And it's just like, I think in life we want to so many people get caught up in the rat race of life, and we need to sometimes just pause, take a step back, and find out what makes you happy in life, and try to go that route. And I know I said we'll end the podcast on like kind of what those things mean to us, but anyone listening, life, I always say this, life is a blink of an eye, and you really need to pause and say, well, what the fuck do I want to do with my life? And try to, take that path and find those things that make you happy. And even, it's like not about just like flipping the whole script in your life. It's like, if I work in a cubicle every single day and I want to, fucking do archery for a living, well, don't just drop what you're doing, right? Just kind of maybe on the weekends, and then maybe
like integrate it into your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But, okay, so let's kind of get to it, right? We wrote this big list down of different things that we want to talk about, everything from the Andrew Tate situation, the Liver King situation, Crypto Zoo from Logan Paul, transgender in sports, Twitter files, FTX debacle, Kanye West, Jeffrey Epstein, Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. I think that's definitely a good chunk of shit that we're going to talk about right now. So let's just hop right into it.
Yeah, that was like all 2022.
Definitely.
That's like, good. December of 2022 was huge. A huge month of like drama and things that went down. I mean, I know Crypto Zoo, I know Liver Kings thing all happened like late November, December.
Andrew Tate, like all of them.
Andrew Tate too. That was like right before Christmas, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's just kind of getting more and more and more. So I guess let's just start off with it. Andrew Tate. So, for the people just tuning in, will you pull this up real quick, Troy? Look up Andrew Tate. I just kind of want to read a quick biography about him.
Who doesn't know Andrew Tate at this point? I think...
It's kind of crazy, dude. It's like, I don't want to say that he came out of nowhere, but seriously, as far as like the fastest growing individual on social media, I think he takes the crown
Oh, he has to take the crown. Oh
by
my God, yeah.
by a freaking long shot. So let's pull up his Wikipedia real quick. You want to scroll on down, Troy? There we go. Just keep on going right there. Yeah, you see his Wikipedia. Boom, baby.
There we go.
Yeah. So let's read it. Andrew Tate. Emery Andrew Tate III is an American British social media personality, businessman, and former professional kickboxer. Following his kickboxing career, he began offering paid courses and memberships through his website and later rose to fame as an internet celebrity, promoting an ultra masculine, ultra luxurious lifestyle. A self-described misogynist. Tate's controversial commentary has resulted in his suspension from several social media platforms. And on December 29th, 2022, Tate and his brother Tristan were arrested in Romania alongside with 2 women. All 4 are suspected in human trafficking and forming an organized crime group. Romanian police allege that the group coerced victims in creating paid pornography for social media. On December 30th, 2022, a judge ordered him to be remanded in custody for 30 days while the investigation continues. And on January 20th, 2023, custody was extended to February 27th, 2023. And as of the 23rd of January, no charges have yet been filed. All right, that's about all I'm going to
That's
say.
a whole lot of numbers.
Yes, definitely, definitely a whole lot of numbers. What do you think it is about Andrew Tate that, your generation especially loves so much?
I think that, just to be like completely transparent, I think the big thing is that okay, a lot would disagree, but right now I think we're in an era of, weaker men and just like so much hatred towards men and so much like, I don't know, just like just talking down on boys who, like have to like, lead the world, and like he takes the role of kind of like empowering men and like giving us like hope for the future, and like kind of like he's super old fashioned where he like, take care of your women, your girl shouldn't be working, and so where he gets into a fine line is where he said his woman is his property, and so that's kind of like the fine line there, which is it's a bit crazy, but he says it for views. He says it for TikTok. He knows all these accounts are going to repost him saying that it's going to get hundreds of thousands, millions of views. And I think that's where he kind of stretches the line. But as far as what he does for our generation right now, he gives us hope. He gives us inspiration, and he's just like a man. He just, he's someone that we can all look up to.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, on the internet, right? That word troll, right?
Mm-hmm.
What he does, right? He does really well is that he talks about, empowering the man, right? Being a man and what it is to be a man. And in this generation, right, there is definitely this kind of like fine line where it's like you can't be the man of the house, you can't be a strong male presence, you can't have this voice, and men have definitely been demasculated, and I think that he kind of stands up for that. And yes, are there some things that he says that cross the line?
For sure.
Abso-fucking-lutely,
for sure.
right? But at the meat of what Andrew Tate stands for, self-empowerment, right? Taking your life in your own hands, having that just fucking go-getter mindset. That is a beautiful thing.
Super.
And there is a huge reasoning behind why your generation has grasped that and is really soaking that all in, and why he has grown so much in such a fast period of time.
I think the crazy thing is he never had a TikTok page. He never once had a TikTok page, and all of his clout, I guess, came from these accounts reposting what he says.
Yes.
And so obviously if what he says is resonating with a lot of people, and, right now with him getting, held hostage, or like not held hostage, but like by the Romanian government, Romanian police, he's being held as a prisoner.
Yeah.
Maybe the government is trying to silence that and trying to like keep the men weak,
Yes.
as a conspiracy. I'm more of a conspiracist.
Yeah.
And I like to, kind of like, maybe there's a chance, maybe
Absolutely.
some things are, obviously out of pocket, but this one, it kind of just makes sense.
Yeah, well,
why
I
they're
mean,
holding him.
There's so many conspiracy theories throughout time that have, that were a conspiracy theory. You were fucking out of your mind for believing it, right? Even just like the Hunter Biden laptop leak theory, right? It was like you had Twitter and all these social media channels silencing it and kicking you off their platform if you said anything because it was all Russian propaganda and it was a hoax and it was all BS. And come to find out, it was fucking true, right?
Exactly.
So it's just like that was the first thing that comes to my mind. But there's just so many things. Look at the Gulf of Tonkin, which is from the Vietnam War, and that was a conspiracy there. And then come to find out, it was fucking true. And it's just like there are all these things. So I don't know if he did or did not, but there's a strong possibility.
And the big thing is he is innocent until proven guilty.
Absolutely.
He is innocent until proven guilty. And if you're there's so many people preying on his downfall,
Yes.
dude, you're preying on somebody's, what if it was like it was your brother
Yes.
who was in the same situation?
Yes.
You wouldn't want people preying on his downfall.
No.
Why are you doing it on this guy who plays such a positive impact on so many people's lives?
It's because they don't like some of the things
that
he says,
Uh-huh,
right? And
very
that
much
he's
so.
empowering a younger generation, and that, and I think that for the majority of your generation, right? You guys know the times that he's fucking trolling, right?
Yeah,
and you
for sure.
know the things that he's the good positive things that he's saying. That's what really resonates, because anytime I talk about Andrew Tate to like younger people, they're like, yeah, some of the things he says is fucking kooky, but a huge majority of what he talks about, right?
Pretty damn relevant.
It absolutely resonates deep, right? It resonates deep inside. And it's just like, this makes a lot of sense. And so it's like really, it's really sad to see that. I mean, throw the, him getting locked up and everything out, throw that out the window for right now, because I mean, it's just kind of crazy to even talk about it. Cause like you said, it's just like, I don't want to pray, like, God forbid, like he did nothing, right? Right. And they're locking him up in jail right now because they extended his 30, because it was first 30 days, then they extended it again another 30 days. I wouldn't want anyone to go through that, especially if you're fucking innocent.
Yeah. Not cool.
And the amount, just in America, the amount of people that get locked up that are even on death row, it's fucking
Yeah, for
crazy.
bullshit that never even happened.
That never even happened. There's the Innocence Project that works on getting people out of jail that have been locked up for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, right? That were completely innocent, right? So, if you don't like what he says, well, that's one thing, right? But to wish harm on him, that's a completely different thing.
Especially if it's not true.
Absolutely, especially if it's not true, And,
Yeah.
and so I think that, from, being a 36-year-old guy now, it's like, I understand why he resonates so deep with your generation, right? That for me, that's not shit I ever had to go through, right?
Yeah, no.
It was, the male bravado and, and empowering yourself. And I mean, saying these things, like, you want every human being to fucking have that feeling of getting out of bed and grabbing life by the fucking balls. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, right? But right now, men are being, demasculated.
Frowned upon.
Absolutely.
For sure. And it sucks. And like, he's just that like beacon of hope.
Absolutely.
I think it's so true. But I think it's also it's one thing for him to be a beacon of hope, but it's another thing for these, little kids who are very gullible and believe
Yes.
every single word that he says.
And
maybe these little boys are going to school and they're calling their friends their property.
Yes.
Their female friends their property.
Yes.
That's that's what I'm playing devil's advocate. That's where
It makes sense though.
and that's where I think that's where it gets funky.
Right. But then where does that come to the parent, right? The parent teaching your kid right from, and I know that kids are very impressionable, right? Your brain is like a fucking sponge, right?
Yeah,
But if I had a kid and my kid brought up Andrew Tate to me, right, I would explain to them the good things and I would explain to them the bad things. And I know everyone in this world doesn't have a mom or a dad or a mom, right? I get it. I lost my dad at 17, like, and you've gone through your own shit, right? And so it's just like, I understand that. And, playing devil's advocate, that does make a lot of sense.
for sure.
Right?
Yeah, I see both sides. Very much so.
Right. So, but still, that does not mean cancel him.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because okay, can you sit down and say that you're perfect?
Fuck no.
Anybody listening to this, you cannot tell me that you're 100% perfect. Everything
No.
you've done, every single word that you've said in this world is perfect.
No.
And he's very much the same way.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. And so there's a lot of good things about him and there's some bad things about him, right? That's every single
Everybody.
person, right?
Everybody.
Every single person. That's why, like, even during like all the shit with the Donald Trump shit, right? It's just like it's so fucking crazy to me, right? Because not one individual on the face of this planet is all bad or is all good, right? And so it's like, you know how where I stand with Donald Trump. You know, some of the things that he has done in the past, like, okay, I understand like some of his policies and everything like that. And then the shit that he would say on fucking Twitter, I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, you're out of your fucking mind, dude.
Yeah,
You're fucking crazy.
They just took Twitter from him, man. It'd be so different.
Absolutely. But you listen to the CNNs, the MSNBCs, the you know, all of the left, you know, sided view
Left-wing,
channels. It's like every fucking thing that he did was bad, right? But then you go to the other side, Fox News, it's just like, even when he did bad things, everything is great, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's not life. That is not reality. And so, you know, getting back to the Andrew Tate situation is just like, there is good and there is bad. And so it does make a lot of sense why these kids grasp to him. And, you know, all I can say is if he's fucking innocent, man, I hope that he gets out, you know?
I hope he gets out. I mean, the most recent news is I know Aiden Ross is going out to visit him, hopefully.
Oh, in jail.
Yeah. So he has 5 people that he can bring into his cell, or that people can come visit him. And 4 of them were his family, and 1 of them was Aiden Ross, which is pretty cool.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
really?
super cool. Yeah, because Aiden's on this whole like a wisdom grind. You know, Andrew Tate really woke, I guess, Aiden up.
Yeah.
And if you guys watch Aiden Ross on Twitch, you would understand what I'm saying. But that's just a perfect example of the positivity that Andrew can really
Absolutely
bring to this world.
100%. Will you pull this up? Will you pull up Aiden Ross on Wikipedia just for the people listening, just so they know who the fuck we're talking about? He's a streamer on Twitch.
Yeah, streamer on Twitch. He's more of a younger demographic, so it might be different. Different people listening on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get a quick little thing.
Yeah, definitely. But you're definitely correct. It's just like teaching self-empowerment and to see that young man's growth is absolutely crazy. So real quick, Aiden David Ross is an American Twitch streamer. Known for his collaborations with celebrities and live streams of video games, NBA 2K20 and Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, he's just a streamer. He
Yeah.
got big with Bronny, like LeBron James' son.
Yeah.
And now he's spreading Andrew Tate's message while he is locked up.
Right. And it's just like
That's
all the good, positive shit.
It's super cool. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it's just like there are a lot of people out there. So, yeah, it's like, once again, you talked about the devil's advocate. It's like, well, yeah, there fucking are some dumb kids out there that are, you know, taking the negative shit. Right. But I know there's a huge swath of the population that took what was good. Right. And are bringing that to light. So, yeah. Anything else to talk about Andrew Tate?
No, I think that wraps that up.
All right. So talking about another person, the Liver King. Holy shit, man. I remember when we were talking about him and he was spreading his 9 ancestral tenets, and we pull him up so I can read a quick Wikipedia on him too. We're talking about it. Dude, there are a lot of things that mostly everything that Liver King will say is positive, right?
It's very similar to the Andrew Tate thing. Like, obviously negative. He was taking steroids. He lied.
Yes.
But the big thing is the positivity and like you can really better yourself through these 9 ancestral tenets that he preaches.
Absolutely.
Same thing.
100%.
Positives and negatives. Everybody.
Every single individual, right? But I don't want to like shed too much light on it because I know so many people have already talked about it. Like,
For sure.
I wish from the get-go, right, he would have been open about it, right?
Yeah.
I wish he would have been open about it. The question is, right, if the Liver King was open about his steroid use, would he have gotten as popular as he did?
Probably not, because people are all like, "Oh, if I just eat liver, I can look like him."
Yes.
that's how I was. I
That's
wanted to believe it so bad.
I know,
and
I
like
know.
we were even
Eating
raw
liver. Yes,
You
we were
kidding me?
eating liver. We were
Yeah.
eating liver. All right, let's see. Liver King is the internet alias of fitness social media personality Brian Johnson. He is known for promoting what he has called the ancestral lifestyle, which includes eating large amounts of raw organs and meat. His diet has been criticized by nutritionists for being potentially dangerous. Listen, man. There are so many foods out there. Will you pull this up? It's the Tufts. I can just pull this up real quick and I'll drop it over to you. I think it's called the Tufts Pyramid. Pyramid.
Yeah, they say like Lucky Charms are healthier
Yeah.
for you than like
Then
red meat
fucking meat, right? Tufts Pyramid. Here we go.
filled with sugar.
Here we go. Let's just see. Let's see if I can pull this up right now in a quick amount of time. Healthy food guide, nutrition. I know where I can find it. If I go on Joe Rogan's Instagram, yeah, he's got it on his Instagram. But pretty much the Liver King, right? If you guys have not seen him, he is a fucking beast of a human being. And from the get-go, I knew that he was using, but I also knew that the things that he was promoting and what he was talking about made sense, man. And once again, like you said, it really does come down to being in control of your life, getting away from, all the negative and bad bullshit. And, and especially the American diet, right? Will you look this up? The percentage of Americans that are obese, it's astronomical.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's more than half.
It's astronomical, right? Here we go. So the new, and I'll get to that in just a second. New government-funded food pyramid says Lucky Charms are healthier than steak, right? And this is kind of what Joe Rogan said. Thanks to the large collection of legitimate nutrition experts with independent shows distributing information based on solid research, we know this is bullshit. Complete, undeniable, indefensible bullshit. But yet the government-funded recommendation chart is here to let you know they suck at giving food advice too. All right, and so pretty much this is what they're saying. It kind of goes from the best foods to the more shitty, right? At the top is watermelon. That's really good. The least, right, is ground beef, right?
Bro.
But it goes watermelon is the best, kale is second best, and then frosted fucking mini wheats. What?
How much sugar is in that?
What?
I
mean, I don't know how much sugar is in frosted mini wheats, but all I know is you're putting frosted mini wheats number 3 on the list, and number like 50 is ground fucking beef, right? That makes no sense. Skinless chicken breast is right above Lucky Charms.
Bro,
What?
Lucky Charms should be way lower.
That should be
That shouldn't even be on the board.
negative 1,000, right? And so what is the number, Troy? You don't need to pull it. Just tell me.
69%.
Say it in the mic.
69%.
69%. 69% of Americans are obese, right? And so the Liver King, man, comes in, right, doing these fucking gnarly workouts, walking through Times Square with like fucking 200-pound kettlebells in each arm, right?
Chains on his neck.
Chains on his neck, just doing like the most godly shit that you could ever imagine, talking about really positive things. Let's look this up. Liver King 9, and I don't even know how to spell this. Ancestral. We're going to look this up. I'll read them to you. Tenants.
I know one's like Get Sun.
Yeah, it's like Shield. Oh, here we go. Here you go. Here are the 9 ancestral tenants. Ready? Sleep, eat, move, shield, connect, cold, sun, fight, bond. Right? Those 9 things are so important, so important to living a long, healthy lifestyle. And where he fucked up is when Logan Paul asked him, I think Logan Paul was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Asked him if he was on fucking steroids. He said no.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, I don't think it ruins him, right?
No.
But it definitely fucked a lot of things up, right?
And where it gets, sorry to cut you off, but where it
No,
gets
it's fine.
tricky is he owns a company called Ancestral Living.
Yeah.
Ancestral Living that sells this raw liver, that sells these, balls, these, like all this crazy stuff where he's been preaching. And now we find out that he's taking steroids.
Yes.
So does that hurt his company? I hear he owns plenty more companies,
Yes.
which like is not even relevant to his name, which he'll be fined financially for the rest of his life. But it kind of just decredits him.
It does.
To
It
say the
does.
least.
Right? Because you don't want to come off as a liar, man.
No.
And he was preaching that if you eat liver, you can look like him. Did he specifically say, if you eat liver, you're going to look like the liver? No. And listen, man, you could take all the testosterone, all the fucking peptides, all the shit you want, $100,000 worth. But if you're not putting in brutal fucking workouts and eating right and doing all, you're never going to look anywhere near what he does, right? So that's not to decredit all the hard work that he put in. And yes, he definitely has such great points, and I think that maybe he wouldn't have blown up as fast as he did, but at least it would have been real, right? Authentic, right? And it doesn't like. There's also a limit, right? You can take these things, right? Small doses, and it can be very beneficial for you, right? Like testosterone replacement therapy, right? Especially if you if your testosterone is low, right? That can cause a lot of issues with sleep, depression, the way that you recover, all of these things, right? And by bringing exogenous steroids into your body, small amounts of it through the guide of a doctor, right? It can be very, very beneficial for you, especially as you get older, right? A lot of males, especially as they get into their 40s, right? They really start to, dive. And the older that you get, right, you can have a new lease on life if you take really good care of yourself, start putting, small amounts through the guides of of a professional, get your blood constantly checked, all those things. It can be a huge thing for you and fantastic for you. But if you're taking a fuck ton of it, right, it can be terrible for your heart and all of these things, right? That can cause a lot of issues. When you started listening to Liver King, what really drew you to him?
Just the way he looks. I think it's kind of with everybody. He was another kind of similar to Andrew Tate, kind of an overnight success.
Yes.
He was huge. He all of a sudden he became huge. I remember seeing him on Impulsive for the first time where he did say he wasn't using steroids.
Yeah.
And we were all kind of like, what? Like, really? We all go in the office. We're like, look at this dude. He's not using steroids. You think he's using steroids? And you were always suspicious.
Yes.
I was always, no, he's not.
Yeah.
Of
course.
I wanted to believe it,
Of course.
because I feel like everyone wanted to believe it.
Yeah.
Because like you push your human body to make it look like that just by eating liver, just by eating raw meat. Like, shit.
Fuck, dude.
Hopefully I can do that. That'd be cool.
Shit, man.
We started doing it, and I wasn't changing too much, but but hey, I felt like I was.
Yes. But it's really good for you, dude.
Yeah.
It's the most nutrient dense
liver,
food on the face of this goddamn planet, So eating liver, right, incorporate it into your diet is fantastic. And you know who the real Liver King is? Who preaches all the correct stuff, and he's actually in business with him. His name's Paul Saladino. He's Carnivore MD 2.0 on Instagram. Paul, he's a doctor as well. He's actually in business. He does have a business with the Liver King. He wrote a book called The Carnivore Code, and
I've heard
and then he wrote
talk about this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's been on Rogan. You can actually look him up on Instagram. It's Carnivore MD 2.0. Read a little bit about him. Paul Saladino, MD, is the leading authority on the carnivore diet. In addition to hosting the podcast Fundamental Health, he has been featured on The Doctor's numerous podcasts, including Joe Rogan. Right, and he does preach everything that the Liver King did, but he does no like exogenous steroids or anything like that, and he looks fantastic
As far as we know of.
Yeah, no. He's shown his blood tests and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So here, let's just so I can show you guys what he looks like. Here we go. Let me see if I can airdrop this to you, Troy. Here we go. Boom. Tell me if you get that right now. Bada bing, bada boom. Pull it on the big screen, baby boy. Here you go.
And this man, I mean, he's early 40s, I'm sure. Check it out. There he is. That's Paul Saladino.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Oh, he's
So
not nearly the size of.
no, not at all. Not at all. He's in fucking great shape. He talks about Carnivore 2.0. So what it is, it's, having meat as the main source of your food, but then he also incorporates fruits, right? He also talks a lot about like seed oils and, just all like the negative things for your body, but he's in fantastic shape. He talks about it from a doctor's perspective. He does understand. And there's plenty of people out there that are following, his guidance and have seen, fantastic results. I mean, even for me, man, like when I'm super strict on, Carnivore 2.0 diet, like my MS, I feel 10 times better than I do when I'm fucking eating processed bullshit and, eating terrible things. I mean, just anyone, it doesn't matter if you have MS or whatever the fuck you got, right? Just having a super clean eating,
like habit.
Yeah. I mean, you're just going to feel better.
Yeah. Shout out Butcher Box.
Yep. That's right. Shout out to fucking Butcher Box, man.
Grass-fed meat. You need your meat.
Absolutely.
Box
Dude, freaking game changer.
There's so many people on that now.
I mean, it's
Such a game changer. You notice it as soon as you throw it on the grill.
Yeah.
You just look at it.
The just the color itself is just, it's so beautiful. And you look at it that compared to like something you buy at like Walmart, right? It's just such a difference, right? And you just feel better when you eat that. So yeah, that's definitely good. So, we don't even need to continue to stress about the Liver King, but it's just like, if you were following the Liver King and maybe you got let down by it, right? Definitely check out Paul Saladino because they talk about the same exact things, but he's definitely not lying. I'm actually on the Paul Saladino supplements. I don't know if he's in, it's called Heart and Soil. Just because like for me, eating the liver, it's just kind of fucking
Like
gross.
gamey almost. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a bit crazy.
it's just gross. And I was doing it for a while, but it was just like really hard. So I wanted to find a better way to be able to get that into my body, but without having like the nasty ass taste. So you can check out, it's called Heart and Soil. And the supplement I take it's called Beef Organ. So it's nature's ultimate multivitamin. Our Beef Organ supplement is packed with vital nutrients and peptides to support your overall health, vitality, and energy. So it's grass-fed, finished liver, heart, pancreas, spleen, and kidney. And it's fantastic.
Hell of a combo.
Yeah, definitely. Hell of a combo. And so it's as if I was eating all of that every single day, but definitely a big game changer for me. So definitely check it out. All right. So you're going to have to tell me a little bit about this next one. I didn't look too much into it. So it's Crypto Zoo with Logan Paul.
Yeah. Well, shoot, I got scammed out of that one right there too. So, okay, I remember this. Tell you a little bit of a story. So it was September of 2021. I was in Mexico. Shout out to my girlfriend Savannah. So we were in Mexico. We were in Cancun, and we were at dinner as soon as this was about to launch. Logan announced Crypto Zoo in the podcast the day before, I believe. We were flying there. I was listening to a podcast. I'm like, oh, Crypto Zoo. I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy one for sure. Like, I need one of these. It's going to blow up. This is when NFTs were the big thing. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting at dinner, refreshing every second, trying to buy one of these damn things. And so I never ended up getting one. And I bought it on this second sale, like second party through OpenSea. And so I spent like 0.3 ETH or something like that. And 0.3 ETH back then was damn near $1,000. And so I was all in on Logan. And so a couple days later, it's dying. Nope, he doesn't talk about the project for another year. And so CoffeeZilla comes out with a 3-part documentary he was working on for like 6-8 months. And so he launches this 3-part documentary in December of last year. So just about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And completely breaks down who the tokens were, also because there was a token called Crypto or Zoo, like Zoo Coin, I think. And so the point of the game was to have this NFT, hatch the egg, the egg, like the character or whatever came out of the egg was going to yield you Zoo Coin. And so Zoo Coin had like its own marketplace. And so CoffeeZilla goes through all the Ether,
the blockchain?
Yeah, it goes to the blockchain. Yeah, it goes to the blockchain. I was brain fart.
Yeah.
So he's go through the blockchain and goes through every single transaction of Zoo and finds out like who's stealing money. And so there's a guy named Eddie Ibanez who was like the lead developer for CryptoZoo, and he's known for scamming the New York Yankees. He scammed the Mormon Trust Fund Church, and he has like a list of more people. He's like a legit scammer, dude.
Damn.
And so he was Logan's right hand man. And so Logan, how do you not know this? How do you not know you're hiring this elite scammer? And so this scammer guy doesn't even live in the United States. Like he's like that off the grid. And yeah, so basically it all went crashing down as soon as CoffeeZilla came out with this 3-part documentary. It was during one of Logan Paul had a bad episode with George. And he was talking about how George is like, he's like talking shit on his religion and stuff.
Yeah,
and so CoffeeZilla, genius, launches this or releases this 3-part documentary as soon as that podcast comes out. So it completely, everything comes crashing and burning on Logan. And so that all happened. And so
you got screwed.
yeah, so I'm still screwed. I'm holding my bag. Logan said Logan came out and he apologized for everything that happened. He didn't really take blame. He was blaming the people that he hired, but it's his fault. But he says he's bringing the game back and he's going to launch it. And so I'm still holding my bag and hopefully it comes out with something. Because I mean, I don't know, his other project, 99 Originals, done super well.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, this project is part of his name and hopefully brings it to light again.
Damn. What was it? Did the thing just never come to light? Was there
No, it never came to light. Completely shut down. So there's a Telegram group for CryptoZoo. And everyone's talking. Everyone's like, oh, what's happening? What's happening? There's no mods. There's no devs. There's no team in there. There's nothing. But this chat is active for a long time. And nothing. There's still nothing. Nothing. Not a single thing has been said to be done except for Logan's apology saying, hey, like, sorry, what happened? Yada, yada. My team was full of shit and we're still going to launch the game.
And so
that's it. That's all we know.
And his apology came out when the CoffeeZilla thing came out.
Yeah, it came out like a week later. Yeah, like a week later after this 3-part docuseries. It's crazy. You gotta watch it.
So
I
heard about it because obviously I heard the apology on Impulsive, but I didn't know anything about it, right? So I couldn't really relate to it. But that's kind of strange, right? Because Logan Paul, with all of his everything that he has done, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've always taken him. I don't know him personally, but I listen to a lot of his content, right? That's like an upstanding human being, right? Yeah. And so for him not to address the elephant in the room
for so long
until this CoffeeZilla 3-part documentary comes out is very shocking to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And he said, so he apologized for that, and he said that it was due to legal reasons. Because as soon as it launched, this guy Eddie sold like $7 million worth of Zoocoin. Because Zoocoin was like 50 cents dollar coin. Like it was pretty good. I mean, nothing crazy, but yeah, he sold like $7 million worth of Zoocoin. And so as soon as that happened, Logan was told by his legal team, apparently, who knows really what's happening, but he was told that he can't talk about it because there's a lawsuit, like an active lawsuit.
But that's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
That's
who knows?
bullshit.
Who knows how real that is?
Right.
Maybe he's just covering up for his ass.
But that just kind of seems so strange for him not to
say something.
So like I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that it is factual, right? Because that just doesn't sound like that sounds like something Logan Paul would do. No. And even that same week, the thing with like the pig came out as well, right?
Yeah.
I remember Alyssa reading that to me because I think What's Up SCV had posted about it too, right? And I was like, like the first part of it was just kind of like, major YouTube influencer fucking,
abandoned
pig, right?
Oh, God.
And then you come to find out like it was all bullshit because he gave it to the farmer, and then
the farmer abandoned it.
Farmer abandoned it, all of that shit, right? And obviously it's like once you're at that level of fame, you're at that Logan Paul level. It's just like every single thing you do, people scrutinize.
Oh, for sure.
Right? You don't shit the right way. They're going to come after you, right?
Very much so.
But it is very strange that he didn't address the elephant in the room. So maybe it is because of legal reasons, but that is like, it's really shitty. And the only reason that I also tend to believe, I want to believe him, is because he didn't sell anything,
Yeah. Apparently he didn't sell anything. Apparently he lost just as much as everyone else did.
right?
But
So
even more. But
right, yeah, for sure. Even I don't.
man manager Jeff apparently, but
Yeah.
who really knows?
Well, I mean, hopefully as time goes on, the truth comes out because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is fucked up, dude. I mean, that's almost $1,000 that you're. Well, I mean, what
For
is
sure,
it?
that's me and there's 9,000 other NFTs. $1,000 just for me, and then $1,000 for all these other.
How much
9,000
were
other
they
people.
in the beginning?
I think. Oh gosh, I think they minted for 0.25, something like that, or 0.2. Yeah, something right around there. And then I bought it on the aftermarket, and then
Could you even hatch it or do any of that?
no, dude, no, it's still an egg. I still
Oh.
have it. I have it on my phone right here. One sec. I'm gonna pull this up just to see.
Yeah. Can you airdrop it without showing the information?
It's on MetaMask. I'm not sure if
Well, let me see. Yeah,
I can put it in the podcast.
yeah. Okay, perfect.
I forget that I'm the editor of this.
Yeah, you can put it in post. Will you write this down, Troy? 41 minutes. Yeah. Just so we remember, Cryptozu. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, so it's just like, yeah, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, really, if him and Jeff did not sell anything, and
There it is. There's
oh
an egg.
shit, it's not. Yeah, it's definitely not.
Egg
hatched.
747. Go like it on
Damn.
OpenSea.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's crazy. So yeah,
sad.
I mean, but then like at this point, right, with NFTs and the whole market being in shambles right now, I know Bitcoin's definitely gone up. You know,
yeah, it's like 25K right now.
Yeah. I looked the other day, and it was at like 21, 22. And I was like, damn, let's
Yeah,
go,
okay,
let's
better
go.
than 16.
You know, 100%. And the crazy thing is like when I got into it at like 2017, it was like $1,600 each, and then it shot up to 20 grand.
Everyone was so stoked.
So stoked. Then it dropped to 3 grand.
Crazy.
Right. And then it took, another few years to eventually get up to 60, 70 grand, and then went
Mm-hmm.
all the way back down to like 16. And now it's like 20, 25, whatever the fuck it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Goes in cycles.
100%. And so, we've talked about this so many times, and I think that I know for sure 99.5% of the cryptos on the marketplace right now will be
Go to shit.
100% shit. But 5 to 10 of them will go on to change the fucking
for
world,
sure. I
right?
think Bitcoin, Ethereum are kind of just
kind
no-brainers.
of, yeah, for sure. And
Industry leaders.
I would say for sure Bitcoin.
Who knows about Ethereum? man?
Who knows about Ethereum?
Ethereum 2.0 is supposed to come out so long ago.
Yeah,
when
100%.
they're slacking.
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah. And Vitalik Buterin is definitely very, very, very fucking smart. And
Looks smart. Fuck.
yeah, dude, he definitely does. He's such a nerd, dude. But he's so fucking smart.
We believe in him.
I'm a huge believer in him. So, but yeah, I definitely, it'll take some time till all goes up. But like, who knows? Like, he comes out with a video game. Is it going to go back up? Is it not going to go back up? But it does suck because a lot of people lost money on it, right?
I feel bad for the people that like went balls to the wall on this shit too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, $1,000 is not going to make or break my life, but for a lot of people, it's gonna, and that's what really sucks.
100%.
It really feels bad.
And this is a great segue into FTX.
Oh my god.
Right, dude? This is fucking crazy, dude. Sam Bankman-Fried. This entire story of how him and the 9 top people had this place in like the Caribbeans, and they were all fucking, fucking each other. They were all, twacked out of their mind on Adderall and doing all of this crazy shit. And to think that he started, can you look this up? When was FTX created? Right. I think it was like 2020.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 2019.
Yeah,
something around there.
2019, 2020. What is it?
May 2019.
May 2019, right? This young man, right, grows this. Oh, yeah, Coachella, FTX. What the hell? I didn't even realize that, dude. Oh, shit, that's
that.
where some. I've never worn mine. Shit, I got a Charlie horse right now. Damn, that's crazy, bro.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, because we went to Coachella last year, and FTX had sponsored that shit, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know what? I didn't even put 2 and 2 together until you just pointed that out.
Hell of a marketing tactic.
Fuck,
Dude, hell of a marketing
dude.
tactic.
That was crazy because they were giving out the NFTs. They were
These
giving
all
it-
for free.
Yeah,
All these-
of those
yeah,
for
all
free.
these shits are free.
That's because it was everyone's fucking money.
Yeah, thanks to
Thank
for
you,
supporting my
everyone.
shirt.
Thank you, everyone.
For
Like,
sure.
dude, that's I mean, talk about bags, bro. Talk about fucking bags. Like, For me, BlockFi was caught up in the FTX debacle. And I still believe that I'll get my money back from BlockFi. Like, you know, because they just put out that thing where back in like December 19th or 21st, right? Because they obviously filed for bankruptcy, but they said they want to give the money back to the people. And I really hope it does happen, right? And I look at myself and you and all and my brother and like I know all of these people that have money, but like imagine the people that had the millions of fucking dollars, dude. The millions of
life
fucking,
savings, like
and FTX, right? Where like BlockFi had some of the money with FTX, right? But not all of it.
Yeah,
I don't know how much, but they say not all of it. And so, you know, this entire situation, this is the problem with the industry, right? Is like people don't want regulation, but then things like this happen
and they want regulation.
and they want regulation, right? And it's
I
just
want regulation now. Fuck.
100%. I want regulation too. Now, how much regulation is the question,
exactly.
right?
'Cause I don't want them to control my money.
That's exactly it. It's just like we have these cold storages. Do you want them to have access to that?
Yeah.
Like, do we have to give, you know, it's like if I had money stashed away underneath my fucking mattress, should the government have access to that? No. No, definitely not. Definitely fucking not. And it's just like if you're an upstanding individual who pays taxes on their shit, right? They shouldn't have access to every little thing that you have. And so like at what point does the regulation come in and it goes too far? But you have someone like Sam Bankman-Fried, and you know, I know everyone knows, you know, who SBF is, but let's just
Crazy looking motherfucker.
yeah, dude. I mean,
He was a guy wearing like suit and ties, but wearing board shorts.
100%.
You know?
And he was,
Sandals.
I mean, dude, he was notorious for being on like huge fucking, you know, like meetings and things like that, playing what's that one game on the iPad, shooter game, super fucking popular. Kid Leroy has a thing with them.
Oh, Fortnite?
Fortnite,
Yeah,
right?
Fortnite.
Like just fucking. I swear to God, I don't even know if this dude ever really gave a shit, right? Like it's like so fucking weird. So Samuel Benjamin Bankman-Fried, also known to many by his initials SBF, is an American suspected fraudster, entrepreneur, investor, and former billionaire. That's crazy, dude. Former billionaire, right? Bankman-Fried was the founder and CEO of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX and cryptocurrency trading firm Alameda Research, right? And so he was literally the whole thing was, right, is when you stored money on there, they said like the way that a bank works, right, is that you give them their money, right? This is like the big part, right? They hold your money, and with your money, they loan out your money, right?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like a revolving
Interest
door,
and shit.
right? But the thing is like when you put your money into a bank account, like things are FDIC insured, right? Unlike crypto markets, right? They are not insured, right? And so, unless you have like your own insurance, like you really don't know what these companies are doing with your money. Even someone as big as like Coinbase, right? Where it's like you think that they're the pinnacle, like who fucking knows?
No, and I think FTX did a really good job of building trust, dude.
Yes.
Like, bro, building trust, like doing this Coachella sponsorship. Like, oh, FTX, damn, that's so cool. They must be super established. Buying the FTX arena for the Miami Heat.
Yes.
Dude, like that builds trust. That really like, and like if I know I saw that and I was like, oh shoot, like maybe FTX
trust
is a
them.
legit thing.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
If Coinbase did the same thing, I'd be like, okay, cool. You know?
Absolutely.
Builds
100%.
trust. Like they have all this money to be buying all these marketing tags, like all these marketing things, and it kind of makes you think that they're legit.
And that's like the really fucked up part is like they promised their customers that when you put your money in there, they wouldn't loan it out. They wouldn't do anything. All they're doing is holding your money.
Little did we know.
Little did people know they were doing the complete opposite, right? And so when these companies especially create like these tokens, right? FTX created the FTX token, right? It really starts to muddy the marketplace. And when you think about it, it's like when you're accepting the terms of service, and especially like you look at like this multi-billion-dollar company where FTX is plastered on fucking stadiums and like everything,
Everywhere.
right?
You know what FTX is.
You know what it is, right? All of these fucking kids and young adults that had so much faith and trust in it put their fucking life. There's so many people out there that put their life savings into this, thinking that at the very least their money was fucking safe.
Yeah, it's
Gone.
It's a shame.
Gone like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like listen, man, this kid deserves to fucking, I want to say it like rotten hell. Like I
for
wish
sure.
wish no harm.
But he's guilty.
but
not
he's,
innocent.
I mean, listen, in America, we're innocent until proven guilty, right? But I mean, if it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck, dude. It's a fucking duck, right? And so, I for me, I feel about 90% sure that we're gonna get our money back from BlockFi, or a huge majority of it, right? Where it's like the people with FTX,
It's lost in the water.
it's lost in the freaking water. And
a shame.
if you've not looked this up or have not heard about it, definitely just look up Sam Bankman-Fried and just start reading about it, because it will blow your freaking mind what exactly what this man did. And I mean, he'll be locked up for life or close near it, right? Because he's 30 years old. If he gets charged, he's fucking screwed, dude.
For sure.
And the shady thing is that he was given, he was taking the money and then, donated to the Democrats, right? And then some people inside his thing were like donating to the Republicans,
Yep.
right? And it's just like, dude, things like that really mess up the water, because when you're not bribing them, but you're paying them to be on your fucking side, right?
Money talks.
He was the second biggest donor behind George Soros. George Soros is the biggest individual who donates to a political party, which is the Democrats, right?
And to be runner up with him,
Bro,
dude, fuck, was so fast
Bro.
too, just by 2019.
like that. 20, no, was it 2019 or 21? Whatever the fuck it was,
2019, May
right?
2019.
Right, May 2019, right? He starts this company, and then 3 years later, it's a multi-billion dollar company,
Something's up.
and then it's gone. And it's gone. And the crazy thing is if CZ from Binance, right, didn't, because like CZ said that he was going, because like Binance had all those tokens, right? The FTX tokens. And he obviously knew some shit was up, right?
Because they were thinking about acquiring FTX.
Yes, they were thinking
But
about
they saw
acquiring.
some shit was
They
off,
absolutely
and they sold.
Well, yeah, and that was the whole thing. And once
Yeah.
that happened,
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
that was it.
Yeah.
It was a run on the fucking bank, right? Exactly. What happened in the Great Depression. People just couldn't put out their money because they didn't have the money.
I know. I think after Binance sold, I think $7 billion worth of FTX token was sold within 72 hours or something like that.
And that's it. That's a run on the bank.
Yeah,
and
that's
if you
it.
don't have the money,
And they didn't. Yeah, they had the money to send it out.
100%. And so that's the thing, is like, that's like a bank run, right? And if you do not have the money, and that's why, these banks, right, that are constantly loaning out money, right? Like, does Wells Fargo really have all your money? Does Chase really have all your money? I don't fucking know. All I know is FTX didn't. And all I know is so many people got freaking screwed.
Yeah, and that's what sucks.
That's what sucks, right? That's what sucks.
It's like, we can laugh at this all we want, and make jokes about Sam Bankman-Fried this, that, but at the end of the day, dude, families lost their money.
100%. Like,
Less food's going in some kid's mouth. Dude.
how
It's
many
fucked up.
people committed suicide over this?
I'm sure. Yeah, dude, I'm sure.
Like, dude, imagine if you think, okay,
One day you're a millionaire.
and the next
You
day,
wake up and
nothing,
it's over.
nothing. You
You
got
have all these payments, car payment, wife's car payment, kids, house, mortgage.
everything, dude. Like,
yeah, that's not cool.
not cool at all, right? So I don't know, man. It's definitely a very scary situation, and that's why it's very important to diversify your assets. It's why it's very important to do your research, and that's why it's very important, if you're in the crypto marketplace, get yourself a cold storage, right, where you can be in full control of your money. That is the last time that I ever trust anyone, not even fucking Coinbase, dude. Not even Coinbase, man. It's so weird because I've been in the crypto space for a while now, and I always talk about cold storage, but it was the interest that really grabbed my attention,
APYs,
right?
yep.
Right. And so that really grabbed my attention, and I did all my research on BlockFi, and they were very stand up, and they had all the right things set up, and if they do come back and are able to release the capital, that's going to build a lot of
trust,
trust.
for
That's gonna,
sure.
dude, that will build a lot of trust, and
I'm so stoked.
dude, it will be beautiful. And I think that BlockFi won't be done. I think that they could reemerge, say, hey, all this shit happened to us. But look, we came through, and this is what we're going to do to make sure it never happens again. And who knows what the future holds. But if you're listening to this and you had all your money tied up in FTX, I'm really sorry. And that's why, if you are in the crypto space, any fucking space, do your research, be in control of all of it, man.
But what's called, if you did your research, I mean, shit, you could see they own the
Yeah.
Miami Heat arena, they own each other,
know.
yada yada. But hey, speaking of billionaires losing their fortune, Kanye
Motherfucking West, dude.
holy shit! Talk about crashing and burning.
How does one individual
Oh my god.
that is a fucking genius when it comes to music, right?
And just fashion.
And fashion,
Like
right?
arts.
Literally changed the game for arts, right? Just at the top of the game. And as fast as SBF lost everyone's money, does the same exact thing,
know.
right?
I know, but he's doing it to himself.
That's the thing.
You know,
well,
he's doing, I mean, I guess Sam Bankman-Fried did it to
he
himself
did
too.
it to himself, but all the people involved did not. Right? Kanye West story is obviously everyone knows what the fuck happened, right? And me being Jewish, right? When he started coming out with all of the stuff, right? And he said, I'm going to go DEFCON 360 on the Jews and everything like that. Listen, man, is he an idiot? Abso-fucking-lutely, right? But I come from the school of thought that I really stand for, freedom of speech, right? And when they started blocking him and kicking him off, that's where I had the problem. Now, I have my problem with everything that he said. And if you want to listen to a really good podcast with Kanye West, Lexman Fried, right? It is, I mean, he really made so many valid points. Not Kanye West, Lex did.
Yeah.
And it's just so crazy because at first I thought, I was like, okay, Kanye West and all the things that he's saying, like he's just talking out of his ass and he's just trolling and all these things. But, Lex really was telling him like, dude, you're talking about a group of individuals where it's like, yeah, maybe all your managers and all the people in control are Jewish, right? But that does not make all Jewish people bad, right? And he just never saw that. And even when he's like, stop, talk about these individuals. If you want to hurt them, talk about them, not
The
Jewish
culture.
people,
Yeah,
not the culture, not the religion, all those
Religion,
things. And he did not fucking see that. And then he just drove himself deeper and deeper and deeper. And it, dude, he's definitely in a manic state.
For sure, dude. It's like we're watching somebody in a crazy mental episode.
Yes.
And it just sucks that there's social media and everyone's getting all these highlight or all these like these big titles.
Yes.
All these titles from it, like because Kanye West is such a big name, like Yeezy, Adidas, just his music and and Balenciaga and like all these collaborations that he always had. Everyone wants to use him in titles, saying, Kanye West loves Hitler.
Yes.
That's a hell of a title. And
That's a hell of a
you know how many
title.
people are going to click on that and how much ad spend's going to that?
He literally said it though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I
true,
know what you're
true,
saying.
True. Maybe that one's not clickbait. But
But I know what you're saying. It's
a good person to like target for media.
100%.
And it just sucks that he's digging himself a deeper hole.
I mean, and you know what's
Every
crazy
time.
is like he, when someone's lost their fucking mind when you're on the Alex Jones show, and Alex Jones seems like the sane person,
He's
right?
telling Kanye to, dude, stop.
Like calm the fuck, because I love Hitler. I was like, dude, what the fuck, man?
Alex Jones is saying to cool it down.
Like that's a
Something's wrong.
problem, bro.
Yeah,
That's
for
a
sure.
fucking problem. But but here's the thing. I don't believe he should have been kicked off.
No.
I don't believe that he should have been banned, right?
No.
And for me it's like when you start kicking all of these people off of Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, well, where do they go, right? They go to these other different channels. And what happens is you start to create these small echo chambers of fucking chaos. And when you don't have different opinions, not saying that this is going to happen, but look at Nazi Germany, right? When you had a one-sided view, you had one opinion, any other fucking opinion, you were killed, you were kicked out, you were gone, right? And you cannot have that. And we live in a country where our First Amendment is freedom of speech, right? This is what our forefathers fucking fought for. This is what we are built on. And even when he came out with the fucking, with the Star of David, with the swastika in it, right? You know, I was torn in the beginning and I was like, is that hate speech? Is that hate speech? After I've had time to process it, man, you have to have these ideas on the fucking internet, because when you have bad speech, you can back it up with good speech, right? And just because today these things are bad,
Doesn't mean it's forever gonna be.
doesn't mean it's forever. And hopefully it is, right? Because it is
very much
fucking
so.
terrible,
Yeah, very much
right?
so.
But there could come a time, right? I mean, dude, if you go back to the beginning of you know, the 1920s, right? There was like 4 million KKK members, right? At that time, right? You could you know, say bad things about, you know, the you know, the black community and this community, and it was completely okay, right?
Now that shit doesn't fly.
Now that shit doesn't fly.
Never.
But if you did not have a time and place back then where it's like you could have these people that believe this and these people that believe that, right? By having that, if you look down the road, the cream always rises to the top.
Yeah, and you learn history. History is something to learn from.
Absolutely.
History is something, you know, not to repeat, and you know, yeah, history is something to learn from.
That's a
It's
valid point.
Very, very, very much so. Like World War II, you know.
Yes.
Hey, let's not do this again. You know.
Absolutely. But if you just
learn from
banned everything and only had one side of the opinion, always, you know, that's you're always going to the cream is never going to have the chance to rise to the top.
Nice.
And so, you know, with the whole Kanye West thing, it's like, no, man, don't ban him. Don't kick him off. For me, it's like, unless you're causing real world harm or doxing someone, let these fucking things fly. And it's so weird because you allow the Taliban to be on fucking Twitter.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Now, let's just make sure. Hold on. I know that
No,
they were.
They are still. I'm pretty sure, because I think I know Elon. I forget why Elon banned Kanye again, but I think Kanye said something bad about Elon. He said like, yeah, fuck Elon or something like that, and Elon was like, no, like we're not gonna ban him just for saying that. You're allowed to believe what you want. But then he said something. I think it was like the swastika in the start.
Well, no, it was.
I think that's what turned.
And definitely. And I don't think Elon Musk should have done that. Now, the only thing that I like out of that situation is where before, right, someone would get banned, right? They would send you a fucking message, but you really wouldn't know why, right? All of these things. It's like this gray area. It's these shadow, like just like weird things where it's like, in this situation, it's like, no, Elon Musk said, you're fucking gone. I'm gone. So at least you have someone
You know
taking
why.
fucking accountability. Why?
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Do I think it's right? No.
No.
Right? But at least I know why. And so at least I can, although I don't agree with it, I can respect it. Right?
Yeah. You're not just getting shadow banned and you're like, what happened?
Exactly.
You know.
Like going back to the Hunter Biden thing, right? It's like
They're shadow banning all these people. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
it's absolutely ridiculous. So it's just like, you know, we as a society, especially in America, like we have to stand up for freedom of speech, because if we don't and we only allow one way of thinking as a society and as a culture, we will not move forward. We will move backwards.
No, and I think it's cool to think about. Like before the internet, freedom of speech was the big thing. Like, how are you going to silence somebody in human form?
Yeah.
You know, are you going to put duct tape on their mouth? No. How are you going to silence them? You're going to kill them. But someone's going to get caught for that. Somebody's got to do the dirty work.
Absolutely.
You know, you can't really do that. But now it's social media. You can just ban. You know, you're off the platform. You
Absolutely.
you can't talk here anymore.
That's it.
Go somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Go to Rumble or go,
Wherever.
which is beautiful. Rumble came a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Huge marketplace for that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's just crazy to think the times have been moving, and freedom of speech is definitely being altered.
Yeah, it definitely is, right?
And I think it's a beautiful thing that Elon took over Twitter, because it kind of gives me hope in Twitter again. Although he bought it for such an outrageous price.
It is crazy.
But I think he's a super smart man. And talk about another billionaire losing fucking billions of dollars. Hell of a year.
Fuck,
2022
dude.
was.
He's lost so much money, dude. He's lost
about that,
so much money, but he's still rich as fuck.
Yeah,
you
he doesn't
know?
give a fuck. And now he's such an advocate for freedom of speech, and it's a beautiful thing that he owns Twitter, which is the biggest place for freedom of speech.
Yeah, it
for
is.
people to communicate.
Absolutely. But he's still blaming Kanye.
Yeah, and he's still banned Kanye. Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one though. I think that's pretty much it, because Andrew Tate's back on.
Yeah,
back
Andrew
on Twitter.
Tate. I don't think Donald Trump. I know he reversed Trump's ban,
But Trump's just not going back on. Some ego type.
but
shit.
there are some people saying that he's gonna go back on. But we'll see.
I'm sure, because I know he has Truth.
Yeah.
Truth Social, which isn't that great. I mean, I downloaded it just to see what
Yeah.
it is. It's exactly like Twitter.
Yes.
But Trump's the big dog on there.
Yeah.
And there's no other real big dog except for like his son.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. I think time will tell, but especially as he moves forward with this election. I mean, dude, he had like 80 million, 90 million followers on Twitter, right? So it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, he's not going to get that reach on Truth Social.
No,
it's just
no,
not going to
no.
happen. So
No way. I remember the App Store threatening to ban Truth Social.
that's crazy.
Talk
man.
about banning freedom of speech, dude.
That's crazy.
our president.
That's crazy, bro.
Love him or hate him, he was our president.
Absolutely,
We live in
100%.
the United States. He was our president, and you're fucking. If he can get silenced, God, you're gonna get silenced.
Yeah, I think
Holy
that I
shit.
think that doing things like that when especially the president of the United States.
That's crazy.
That's fucking crazy, dude. I cannot believe that ever happened.
Somebody has more power than our president.
Of course,
What the fuck?
absolutely.
That's like trippy to think about.
I mean, I think that goes down to like when people talk about like the deep state, right? You look at these lifelong politicians, you look at these like CIA and FBI. Like for me, I don't think there's like one person that's pulling all the puppet strings, but I think it's a group of individuals that are moving and grooving things the way that they want them. And it's people that are at the top of the FBI, people at the top of the CIA, people that, are career lifelong politicians, the fucking billionaires, right? That really make up this group of individuals that really change.
And shapeshift our world.
Absolutely.
Essentially, they're like putting puzzle pieces together.
100%.
Oh, we want things to work out this way, so let's make this happen.
Yes. Absolutely.
Very
Absolutely.
interesting.
Yeah, very, very much so. How's everything going over there, Troy?
Everything's going great. I was thinking about the Illuminati when you said people like running,
Yes.
like doing more than our like president.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's like, who makes up the Illuminati, right? It's like, I think it's these groups of individuals. Like,
Like rich oil money and like
Yes.
the Rockefellers. and-
yes, yeah,
And-
100%, right? That's a very valid point. And so I think that these individuals are the ones that are controlling everything, that have far more reach and long-lasting power than a president.
Yeah. The president's kind of just the overseer of the United States.
For
the
4
person.
years.
Yeah, for 4 years. 4 to 8 years.
4
you
to
know?
8 years,
Yeah.
right? But for sure for 4 years, right?
Uh-huh.
And so it's like, do you think when you become president, they tell you everything?
I don't think so. I don't
Nah,
know.
dude,
No, I don't think so.
no.
Yeah, they can't.
Fuck no.
They can't tell you everything.
No, but it is so crazy to see. Like you see, Obama, with like hope and change, and then you see Trump wanting to drain the swamp, right? And then it's like when they become president, right? There's like that day where they officially become the president. They're like dealt. I don't know. I envision like they're dealt like this stack of fucking papers, just like, this is exactly what's going on, Mr. President.
No, yeah, there's
and they're like, maybe we're not going to have too much hope. Maybe we're not going to drain the fucking swamp.
Yeah,
it's
there's
just
no
like,
way.
it's just like you can have all these visions of how you want this job to be, right? But then when you're dealt the facts, maybe it's not going to be exactly what you
Envision, yeah, no.
100%.
Yeah, no.
100%. So,
I just want to know what happened at the Epstein Island.
that's dude. When you're talking about
I really want to know.
someone that had a lot of control and had a lot of power, the amount of times these very, very influential people. I think it was called the Lolita Express was his plane, right? Let's check that out. Can you look that up? What was Jeffrey Epstein's plane called? I think it was Lolita Express.
I think it was his wife's name. Wasn't it? That lady that just, I don't even know.
No, that Ghislaine Maxwell. That's
Ghislaine
not his wife.
Oh.
It was the Lolita Express.
Yeah, I was right.
Oh, you were right. Okay.
These individuals, everyone from Trump to Bill Gates to Bill Clinton, right? Oh, dude, the
everyone's
list
been
goes on. Everyone has fucking been there, right?
Whether they admit it or not.
Oh, for sure.
Fuck.
For sure, dude. Right. And if he was really like part of like the Mossad, Israeli like Secret Service, right? Whatever the fuck he did, dude, whatever weird, shady shit he did. And then when he gets locked up the second time, right? All the cameras were off.
The security guards were all sleeping or what?
Yeah, they were sleeping.
There was no security guard on
The
duty.
coroner said that it did not look like a suicide, right?
He was held in like a crazy pen, wasn't he?
What do you mean by that?
Wasn't he even in like a
Well, because they said like the week before he was suicidal.
Yeah, he was on suicide watch, wasn't
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It
he?
was good.
And he committed
And he committed suicide. That's exactly what they said. Jeffrey Epstein suicide watch. Let's check it out. Because I know the week before he committed suicide, here we go. Jeffrey Epstein. This is August 24th. Jeffrey Epstein was taken off suicide watch by high-level psychologists. The financier who was being held on federal sex trafficking charges has died by suicide on August 10th at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan. It says Jeffrey Epstein, the multimillionaire financier who died by suicide while in federal jail on sex trafficking charges, had been taken off suicide watch by a doctoral level psychologist, the Justice Department said in a letter to Congress. Epstein, 66, died on August 10th in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan. His death was ruled as suicide by hanging. He had been placed on suicide watch in July after he was found in his cell, semi-conscious with marks on his neck. But he was later removed from suicide watch after being evaluated by a doctoral level psychologist who determined that a suicide watch was no longer warranted. The Justice Department said in a letter Friday to the House Judiciary Committee's chairman, Jerry Nadler, and its ranking member, Doug Collins. Federal inmates on suicide watch are placed in special cells, the letter said, citing Bureau of Prisons policy. This environment includes easy access to the room, unobstructed vision of the inmate at all times, and limited availability of objects, materials, or architectural features that would allow for easy self-injury, the letter states. An inmate on suicide watch is seen daily by a psychologist and is constantly being observed by either staff or inmate companion who documents their observations regularly. Inmates can be taken off suicide watch by a Bureau of Prison psychologist after face-to-face evaluation, the letter states. So he was taken off suicide watch, right? Just a month prior, right? And then dies by suicide.
Everything worked out so perfectly.
It's really fucking strange. This is just the whole situation. Coroner, let me look this up. Coroner who said Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, that dude better got fired or something.
I mean,
He was off.
let's see. Medical examiner rules Epstein death. No.
I don't think they're gonna say his name. There's no way.
Let me see. Epstein's autopsy points to homicide pathologist. So here we go. This is what his brother claims. Epstein's autopsy points to homicide pathologist hired by brother claims. The New York City, this is the New York Times, right? The New York City medical examiner strongly disputed the claim that evidence from the autopsy suggested strangulation. A forensic pathologist hired by Jeffrey Epstein's brother disputed the official finding in the autopsy of his death, claiming on Wednesday that the evidence suggests that he did not take his own life but may have been strangled. The New York City Medical Examiner office concluded in August that Mr. Epstein had hanged himself in his jail while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. But the private pathologist, Dr. Michael Baden, so there's his name, said on the morning TV show Fox and Friends that Mr. Epstein, 66, experienced a number of injuries, among them a broken bone in his neck that are extremely unusual in suicide hangings and could occur much more commonly in homicidal strangulation. I think that the evidence points to homicide rather than suicide, said Dr. Baden, who observed the autopsy done by city officials. So he did the autopsy in front of city officials, right? Let's look this up. And I know we're bringing this up. This did not happen in 2022, but it's just because of the Ghislaine Maxwell situation, who we're going to talk about in just a second. Let's look this up. Were the cameras on? Cameras.
I'm sure there's a TikTok explaining all this shit too.
I know. There's a TikTok thing for everything. Like literally everything.
Yeah, like a 30-second clip explaining the entire thing.
Yeah. So this is what it says. This is what I just want to read. Jeffrey Epstein jail CCT erased by technical errors. Surveillance video from disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, first suspected suicide attempt, was destroyed by accident.
Yeah, okay. By accident. Come on, why would you delete? What?
Soon after Epstein's death in August, two of the
Doesn't make any
CCTV cameras outside his cell had malfunctioned and were being examined by FBI. Okay.
Yeah, see, the whole story is just fishy. I mean,
I don't know, man. Yeah,
at the end of the day, I just want to know what the fuck is really the truth.
that's exactly it, right? And so then you had Ghislaine Maxwell, who, went on trial, right?
And she got like 20 years.
She got 20 years, but the thing is she is in a very comfy jail where they do yoga and it's
Play
just
tennis, get fucking full course meals.
It's just like I
want to live there.
I doubt you do.
No.
But if they killed her, that'd have been too much, right? But they didn't reveal any information, right? There wasn't really anything that came out from that we did not already know.
I know.
Right? And it's just like these billionaires and these such influential people. It's like if they want to get rid of evidence, if they want whatever situation to
can.
disappear, they can.
It's not fair.
It's not.
Kind of like thinking about the Andrew Tate thing. Like, are they just holding him just to like hold him, or is there really a case? Like who really knows? And that's the whole thing. And that's the whole thing. Like the Matrix, escape the fucking Matrix.
How
Get
do you
off of the
escape
grid.
it?
I don't know. Ask Andrew.
Well, he's stuck in the Matrix right now, my friend.
I know.
He's
Matrix
fucking
got his
stuck.
ass right now.
They got his ass big time, bro. So I mean, time will tell. We'll find out with all of that, right? But it's just like with all of these things, right? They tell you what you want to hear, and that's exactly it, right?
For sure, and they hide what they don't want to
Oh, for sure.
release publicly.
For sure. All right, so we got a couple more things to talk about, right? Let's switch over to sports right now, man. All right, so Jake Paul versus Anderson Spider Silva,
Ooh, hell of a fight.
bro.
That was a hell of a fight. It almost seemed like Jake was going down
That's exactly
in
it,
the
dude.
beginning. I think everyone kind of thought, dude, I remember watching it here. We had a big party here at your house, and we were all watching it. We all thought Jake was losing.
I thought it was gonna. That was
we all
it.
thought, yeah, because dude, if Jake loses, that's kind of the end of his reputation. Everyone's saying, but Anderson Silva's a dog.
Dude, he is a bro for 47 years old. The way he fucking fought that fight,
Yeah,
get the heck out of here, bro.
yeah, for sure. I think if he were to lose a fight, that would have been the one to lose.
100%,
Yeah.
right? And here's the thing: is like everyone puts Jake Paul on this like super high caliber, and it's like,
He's so new,
dude, he's so fucking new.
He just started,
He's
like, a couple
very, very, dude. He is very talented. Very,
grown
very
so
talented.
much in just like 4 years that he's been doing it.
100%. But it's not like he's been boxing since he's been a little kid,
No.
right? He has just amassed such a large following, has created such entertainment, brought boxing back to your
For
generation,
sure, I was
dude.
never into boxing.
Dude, and people get mad at me when I say this. I don't put them at the same level, right? But the same type of excitement that Mike Tyson brought our buddy Ron, when
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
20 fucking years old,
sure.
right? Watching Mike Tyson do his fucking, or when he was like 16 years old, however old he was, right? Is the same type of excitement that Jake fucking Paul brings to the sport.
Brings my
Brings to
generation,
you
dude.
guys, right?
For sure.
To see you guys
For
all
sure.
like talking about boxing, all glued to it, and just so enthralled with what's going on, and just inspiring this younger generation where like boxing wasn't dead, but it was definitely left up to just a very select few amount of fighters.
For sure. My generation, there was nobody.
No.
Nobody. I don't think I've ever watched a fight. I think my first fight was the oh my god, the KSI and Logan Paul fight.
Yeah.
And Jake Paul fought on the undercard.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was my first ever boxing match I ever watched in my life.
And so it's so crazy to see what the Paul brothers have done. And then, you know, what Jake Paul has done, the amount of money that he amasses for being so new, right? But, and just getting kids excited for fucking boxing. It's so fucking cool to see. Like, it's so cool to see. And to watch that fight, right? Because we've watched every single one of Jake Paul's fights.
Yeah.
Except I never saw that one. That's the only fight Jake Paul I've not seen.
Yeah. That was super early.
That was early, right?
First fight ever.
But other than that, I've seen all of them. But to see the camaraderie between Jake Paul and Anderson Spider Silva was a different thing, because usually it's like fucking, you know,
Kind of know Jake's winning. He's dogging the whole fight.
well, he's just always talking shit to the other person, right?
Oh,
he had so much
true.
respect
Yeah,
for
point.
Anderson,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it was really cool to see just, you know, because a lot of people paint Jake Paul as this fucking, like, you know, he's the bad guy and he's like
Problem
this,
child.
absolutely, he's the problem child, right? But to see the amount of respect that he had for Anderson, right, was so fucking cool. And then to see Anderson, I mean, 47 years old, moving and grooving like he did, was just it was a really cool fight. And yeah, I totally thought Jake Paul was gonna fucking lose.
Yeah,
dude.
we all did up until that like last round. The last round where he knocked down Anderson, that was kind
Bro,
of
that was crazy,
that was
right?
the breaking point for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
yeah.
And I was wondering, like, if he was still going to win. But, like, in my head, like, if you knock someone down like that, like, you won,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, he did the most amount of damage. I don't know the way that boxing is scored, but I'm glad that he won that fight and gets to go on the next. I mean, does he say who's going to fight next?
No, I mean I know it's been like Tommy Fury, but that keeps getting dropped.
Yeah.
and who knows? I don't know, but see the problem is that he has to keep getting these bigger names.
Yes.
These bigger and bigger and bigger people, and I think that's where it kind of runs out of time. But what's it called? How much do you think Anderson Silva was his biggest payday with Jake Paul?
Oh, 100%.
So I think that's the beauty of Jake Paul and why he gets all these like OG names like Ben Askren.
Yeah.
He gets these like original killers.
Yeah.
And
Tyrone.
Yeah. Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva is because they've never been paid like that.
No,
And
no.
Jake, who brings such a crowd of people, will bring them that bag and they're like, yeah, fuck it, let's get in the ring.
Dude, like,
Let's do it.
let's go, dude. The
Yeah,
amount of
for
money.
fucking sure.
There's no way, because I
You're
mean,
not saying no to that.
no
You're used to
fucking
getting
way.
paid a couple $100,000 for a fight. Now you're getting paid $3,
Yeah.
$4, $5 million.
Well, I know Anderson Silva would make, you know, like millions of dollars in a fight. Like, I mean, if you're a top tier UFC fighter, you're making a fucking bag.
Yeah, like title
dude.
fights and stuff.
Yeah, like you're making a bag, but boxers, they can make some real fucking money. I mean, the thing is that, you know, the number one complaint that I hear about UFC is the pay, you know, fighter pay, and that's what Jake Paul
Like
has
no
always said.
insurance and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
bad insurance at least.
Yeah, so Jake Paul issues with UFC fighter pay.
Yeah, because I know him and Dana White were going at it for a long time. I think they're like 2021 though. That was like a bit early on.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think Dana's giving him the time of day anymore.
No, dude.
Because that's kind of like over with.
Yeah.
Although Jake's still dogging him.
So this is what he said. What did he say? When was this? This was back January 10th, 2022. But Jake Paul said, "I'll immediately retire from boxing and fight Jorge Masvidal in UFC if you agree to. Increase minimum fighter pay per fight to $50K. It's $12,000 now. Guarantee UFC fighters 50% of UFC annual revenues. Provide long-term healthcare to all fighters. You previously said brain damage is part of the gig. Imagine the NFL said that. That is crazy."
Dude, I would not get into the ring for $12,000.
Well, I mean, if you're a low tier fight, yeah, you would.
Dude, get banged up and shit for $12,000.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, see, I
wouldn't
don't know.
want to either. But
See, I'm
yeah.
not. Yeah, I guess
I'm not
I guess,
a fighter.
I
I don't
guess
know.
I'm not a fighter. I don't really know the caliber of that stuff. But
Yeah,
fuck, it
definitely.
just doesn't seem right. To
It
like,
it doesn't.
dude, you're losing years off your life just
Yes.
for fucking $12,000.
Hey, here we go. And there are many UFC alums who have publicly said they're suffering from brain damage. That is crazy, right? Because if you're fighting for the UFC, they should provide long-term health care.
Long-term
bro.
healthcare for sure.
That one's a fucking no-brainer, no pun intended. Like that's crazy. That dude, if you're putting your life on the line for this organization, right? they definitely should provide long-term health care. And it's not like there's that many, dude.
No. And I mean, dude, how much money the UFC probably makes every single
Bro.
weekend?
Bro, that's crazy.
Every weekend. I can't even follow up with how many fights there are. Like I don't watch every weekend, but like I'd like to see like
No,
the title
but
fights
yeah,
and
of
like the big
course.
fights. I'll for sure always see.
So here we go. How many UFC fighters are there, right? There are, here we go.
I think we're retired too.
Oh, that's
There's
a good
probably a
question.
certain amount of actives, and there's probably a lot of
How
retired.
many UFC fighters have there ever been? How many do you think it is?
I mean, shoot, what are they on? UFC like 250?
Something like that.
It's like 264 for the next title fight.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
UFC 264. And so if there's 15 people fighting every card,
how many
I'd say a couple hundred at least.
ever?
Ever, yeah, probably up to 1,000
I mean, there's 480. There it says
actives right now.
Okay, there are a total of 590 active male fighters in the UFC roster right now.
590, goddamn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
it's probably a couple thousand.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely
totally.
thousands, right? But
I always feel like there's always the same names on other cards.
yeah, oh, for sure, right? I'm
So it
what's
doesn't
all the
seem
big,
like there's
big ones.
590.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
I mean, they're doing them every week, dude. So
Yeah, true.
it's like
I
there's
guess I
so
don't
many.
follow it that much, too.
No, I mean, I tend to just watch the bigger
Yeah.
fights, but
sure.
they're right. And so, like, what would that cost, right? And so, I mean, maybe if there's like, okay, if you do 5 UFC fights, then you get long-term health care, right? Like,
Yeah. There's gonna be like a minimum requirement.
yeah. So, like, I that would just seem fair. I mean, the NFL has long-term health care, NBA, ML.
Yeah, it only makes sense. You're sacrificing your life for entertainment for this company.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude,
Okay.
you better take care of me and mine for me.
Does UFC offer healthcare? Let's see. I mean, they have to while you're doing it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and I'm sure since Jake has been calling this out, I'm sure there's been things in the works.
Yeah, so it says right here, fighters under the UFC banner aren't offered long-term health insurance, with it seemingly only be provided in instances where injury occurs inside the octagon or during training camp. Whoa. Does UFC cover medical bills? For UFC fighters, there was no compensation for their injuries, but rather an early retirement from the sport without benefits. The pay out of pocket to treat their injuries are often and are unable to obtain treatment at all. Damn.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. See, and I don't think that would have ever been like brought into the light without Jake. I think that's the beauty of this because Jake's calling it out and making it known.
Whoa.
Because fuck, dude, a lot of people don't even think of that shit.
No.
Not a lot of people even think about that. They want to watch the fight and that's it.
I
They
never
think that's
thought
it.
of it.
No, I never thought of it until Jake brought it up either. And I'm sure there's a lot more people like very similar to our mindsets in that.
Yeah, I mean that just makes sense, man. You're fucking risking your life for these individuals, and like, if you work for the organization, not as a fighter, do you get health insurance? Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure they get health insurance like while they're fighting or something like
Yeah, I'm
that. right?
sure, but like long term, dude, you're sacrificing your life
Your life
for
You're-
this for you, Dana, for you, like entertaining, like for your entertainment, and for all these millions of people who follow as well.
and it's just like, let's just say, okay, let's do this. Let's pull up calculator, right? Let's pull this up, right? Let's say there is here. Let me do the math real quick. Let's say there's 5,000 UFC fighters. Let's say times 300 times 12. So it'd be $18 million a year to cover those 5,000 fighters.
So how much does the UFC?
But
make
here
a
we go.
year?
How much do they make a year, bro? Like,
I'm
can you look
sure-
that up?
I'm sure it blows 18 million out of the.
Bro,
fucking
I'm
wall.
sure it's billions, bro. Like, it's a multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, it's got to be $1 billion a year, right? I mean, through all their shows and
Everything
games
every
and-
weekend, dude. Every weekend
Per event, it's 80 million to 120 million.
per event, and there's an event every year, every week. So do that times 52. 80 million times 52, bro.
bro.
Bro,
So that's just for TV rights. That's not for like people paying to like.
That's what I'm
sit
saying.
inside.
That's what I'm saying.
That's just pay-per-view.
Dude, they're
it
making
too?
billions of dollars a year.
that's like 4.2 billion dollars.
Bro, they can definitely provide long-term health care for the rest of their life if they fight one fucking fight. One fight.
But there should be a minimum of like 5.
Yeah, something like that.
And
You
that's
do
probably
5
very
fights,
reasonable.
you get fucking long-term
Healthcare.
health care, everything, right? Everything. Like all of that shit, right? Because you're literally risking your life to put on for this organization, it would only make sense that they do the same for you, right?
much so.
To ensure that you will be good for the rest of your life. At the very fucking least, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking at those numbers, because what I did was all I did was 5,000 times $300 a month,
For health insurance.
right? And that's not even like a top tier PPO, but that's like a middle of the fucking grade. Times 12, it's $18 million a year. What?
Yeah.
Let's say it's
I mean,
10,000.
And I'm sure if you're buying that many health insurances, there'll be a bundle.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure. And I'm sure the UFC deal, like UFC even makes their own healthcare, whatever.
Exactly. There's
Yeah.
so many things that they could do.
I'm sure it's more difficult behind the scenes, or maybe fucking
For
Dana's
sure,
just
but
a money whore. I don't know.
But even if it costed them $50 million a year, they could do that,
yeah.
and they should.
Very weird.
It's very, 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 very.
But it's good
fair.
that Jake's bringing this to light.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful
and we
thing.
need that. We need that
absolutely,
shit. And
right?
it's cool always making his own organization. And
Yeah, because he's
Might be
doing
a big
the
computer.
what? Do you remember what it's called? Jake Paul. I
forget. I know his app's called
UFC.
Better, but I can't think of
Do you know what it is? Jake Paul UFC
fighter. Most valuable promotions or something like that.
Well, no, that's for boxing or whatever. That's his organization.
Promotion.
It's called. It's the P. Is it the PFL? See if you can find it. It's like Jake Paul Fighter Association.
Yeah, it might be that the Jake Paul Fighter Association.
No, let's see.
The Professional Fighters League.
Yep, there we
Professional
go.
Fighters League.
Yeah, there we go. Good job,
okay.
Troy. Boom, baby. Boom, baby. So let's just check that out. Will you pull that up? Do they have a website? Professional. Pull that up right now, just so we can read a little bit about it.
I mean, I'm sure they're just trying to fix the flaws of the UFC.
Yeah, but it's gonna be so hard to compete against them.
I mean, if there's somebody that's going to compete against them, it's going to be.
Oh, here we go. It's called PFLMMA.com. Do you see it?
Yeah, I do, but I'm trying to find some information.
Oh, there's on their website. It says, let's see. I'm looking up about. I don't know. Did he start the PFL? Because I've heard of
Yeah.
the PFL before.
I'm pretty sure.
No, because it was no. This isn't it because I was started in 2017. Let me look this up. Hold on. Jake Paul MMA League. You found something?
I found something. Pull it up.
He signed a deal with the PFL.
Okay.
So I'll just read this quick. Internet celebrity Jake Paul is taking the next steps in his professional fighting career as well as his run as a major antagonist of the UFC, joining the Professional Fighters League, PFL, on a contract that includes equity in the company. Paul signed a multi-year deal with the PFL to compete in the new super fight division and will participate in pay-per-view bouts starting in 2023, according to the New York Times. He does not yet have a fight on the schedule, and the terms of the deal with him and business partner Nakisa Bidarian have not been disclosed. The PFL introduced Paul in a video. I saw that video. He goes, "That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You read the title correctly. I've officially signed as an MMA fighter to the fastest growing sports league in the world, the PFL, baby." Paul said in the introductory clip. Paul says he also has a role with the league as the head of fighters advocacy and will be deeply involved in making sure the PFL is the best place in the world for fighters. Fighters in the super fight division will receive 50% of revenue, Paul says. Wow. Paul mentioned his push for fair pay for fighters, directly swiping UFC president Dana White's overpay for the athletes in MMA's top league. The influencer broke the professional combat sports as a boxer in early 2020 as he posted a 6-0 record. In his last fight, October, he defeated UFC legend Anderson Silva by unanimous decision. Now he has added to his repertoire as he seeks to become a professional MMA fighter. Last thing, the biggest thing for me would be getting the kicks down, Paul said via the Times, but I'm going to start now. Moving forward with some extra time I have within this camp, I'm going to put in some extra time, rolling around, doing some jiu-jitsu and learning some kicks. Wow, man. So he is just taking this shit by storm, man.
Good. If there's going to be someone to do it, it's going to be him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
And
think
that's what I'm saying is like
believe
he's just inspiring a young generation. And I absolutely love people like him.
Yeah,
You know,
for
and
sure.
it's really cool to see where this all goes.
I'm sure the fighters were all appreciative of that shit too.
Oh, for sure. But the crazy thing is like how many of them? Because obviously the PFL is already a league, but it'll be cool to see if any of like the top tier UFC fighters will go over, right?
Yeah, I
That's
don't know.
gonna be a
there's
tricky
I
one.
think there's a loyalty. I think there's a loyalty there. To Dana.
It's like that. The PGA and Live Golf.
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like-
true.
You know, some of them like Jack Nicholson or whoever the fuck went over.
Yeah, I don't follow golf too great.
Yeah. Type this in real quick. Biggest golfer to switch over to Live Golf, LIV Golf. Is it Jack Nicholson? Jack Nicholson? Who the hell is it?
Phil Mickelson.
There we go. I knew it was a Nicholson.
Mickelson.
Yeah, right. He got a huge freaking bag, dude, and he's one
It's
of the
that oil
greatest
money,
golfers.
man.
Yeah, bro, that's Saudi fucking money.
Uh-huh.
Jesus. But yeah, so time will tell with the PFL, man, and all of that. But it is really cool to see Jake. So one more hot topic thing I want to talk about while we're in sports, man. Transgender in sports, right?
Yeah,
this is
fuck. It's been such
a
big thing
crazy
recently.
one, right? And I want to start this off, right? I am a huge proponent for anyone on the face of this planet. Doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, bi, black, white, red, brown, Jewish, Catholic, Christian, doesn't matter what the heck you are. You should be able to live your life the way you want to live it, right? As long as you're a good person doing good things, right? That-
Don't make me
Dude-
feel guilty for you wanting to do that either.
No, none of that, right? It's like I have no discrimination about any of that, right? I have no discrimination about transgender, none of that shit, right? Where my biggest issue, my only issue, my biggest issue, because I have no issues, right? The only issue I find is transgender in sports, right?
For sure.
And I know that if you're a young kid, you're going through a transition, or like not going through a transition, like if you're a young adult, it could be hard, right? If you're like a male to female or female to male, right? I don't understand what your life is like, right? But what I do know is that for all the girls out there, right, that like Leah Thomas in swimming, right? Like these girls spent their entire life at this fucking sport, right? Giving it their all, bro. Practicing day and night, day and night, day and night, day and night, day and night. And then you have this individual, right, who transitions, right, is like fucking 400th on the freaking list for male swimmers, right? And then overnight transitions from male to female and becomes the number one in
Winning
the
all
sport,
these medals. and-
breaking fucking records,
Uh-huh.
dude. If you're a biological male transition to a female, you should have that right.
For sure.
But for me, like if I had a daughter, right, in that league who blood, sweat, and fucking tears, like I'm sorry, Leah Thomas.
Pissed.
I don't know what it's like for you, but and I know there's not enough transgenders out there to create their own league. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, right? But that's just that is the only thing that doesn't
Resonate with you, yeah.
for me.
Yeah, it's not cool. It's not cool. Yeah, because just like you said, I mean, all these people that spend so much time in their craft and all this money that their parents fork up for these, girls to go to these events and,
Practice,
like all this blood, sweat, and tears. You go into like perfecting your art. And
Yes.
just like that.
just like that overnight. And so it's just,
For it all to change.
being a biological male with all the testosterone and our extended wingspan and yeah, there are women outliers out there. There are plenty of women on this face of the planet that can kick my ass, right?
For sure.
But I am not a top tier competing fighter, swimmer, none of that shit, right? But I always go back to like, if I had a daughter, it would break my heart. That girl that came in second place against Leah Thomas in that big swim match, right? It would break my fucking heart. And like, if I was Leah Thomas's family, like, yes, that is
Great.
Like, well, no, I don't even say great. Like, yeah, I'm sorry that you are. I don't want to say sorry that you're going through this, but like it's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place because you would want, if your daughter's Leah, right, you would want the best for her, right? But it just that right there, like it's just so hard. It's like so hard because it's like what's fair is fair, right? And we know that biological males, right, men, on average, are stronger,
Yeah, it's
faster.
biological. It's like
That's
it's human anatomy.
100%.
Yeah,
What's
there's
facts. And we just live in such a weird time where it's just like you throw that all out the window.
For sure. And you get like, as a man, bringing it back to the Annotate thing, we get frowned upon for even mentioning it.
For even saying this.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here, either one of us are saying like transgenders are bad and they shouldn't be allowed. No, hell no. Like, dude, be you. Be whoever the fuck you want, right? But when it comes down to sports,
there's got to be a line. Like,
that's the line.
Yeah.
That is the line.
Yeah. And I mean, I think we're just so early in, I guess, this whole idea of transgenders that there's no league. There's no, fair, even ballpark to play on.
Yeah. And there's no thought behind. There's no like, let's have a really deep conversation about this and let's figure out something that works for everyone. Maybe create like a female league, right? Where it's like women, right? Transgender women and women that want to compete in that league, right? Go for it, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the biological female league, you have a biological male league. Then you have this one, right?
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I don't know where whatever it's called or whatever it is, but it's just like instead of just instantly going to this 0 to 100, right? It's like let's put some deep thought into this because I am sure there are women out there that would want to compete. I'm sure that you know,
Yeah.
but it's just like overnight, you know, you go from
Being horrible, fucking struggling in your own division to,
Yeah.
let's just do this and I'll be the fucking all-star, Olympic gold medalist, finalist, world record breaker, all this shit. And it's just seems so unfair. And I think it's so obvious. I think it's so obvious.
Okay, so let's just see. Okay, so Leah Thomas, her rank had moved from 65th on the men's team to first on the women's team in the 500-yard freestyle, and 554th on the men's team to 5th on the women's team in the 200-yard freestyle. Now, does that mean that if you're a biological male transitioning to a female that you're going to win every single? No, hell no,
Absolutely
right?
not.
No, absolutely not, right? But if you just look at what that was, 554th on the men's team to 5th on the women's
That's
team.
a hell of an upgrade.
That's a hell of an upgrade. And then even 65th on the
so
men's
obvious.
team to first on the women's team in the 500-yard freestyle.
Yeah.
That is a huge leap. That's a huge leap. And it's just like, how much conversation was there with all the women in that division about this before it happened?
Yeah.
Right?
Probably not very much.
And you know what's so crazy though? Is that when it goes from biological female, right? Or biological male to female, that's where we have an issue, right? In sports. Only fucking like in sports, right? But when it's biological female to male in sports, we don't.
Yeah, I know.
But it goes back to this, right? Because as a biological male, as a whole, on average, men are stronger, faster. That's just how we are genetically
Can't
built.
say that anymore though. It's like such a fine line there now.
Oh, 100%. I'm sure this podcast
sure
will be
that'll be
demonetized,
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure.
Because of this conversation,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and how
And
much Andrew Tate shit we're talking about too.
100%.
Because this is exactly what he talks about. This is
Absolutely.
obviously, he says it a little bit more, outspoken
Yes.
and more critical. But this is very similar.
Absolutely, right? And so these are just facts that we're talking about. Clear-cut facts. We're not spewing any hate.
No,
That's
absolutely not.
Not at
Dude,
all.
I don't give a fuck.
No.
I don't give a fuck.
No.
But, don't come to me and expect me to like call you a microwave.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
fuck that.
I
Yeah.
mean, dude, like,
Yes. Yeah.
like don't make me feel bad for who I am.
100%. That's what it comes down to.
Because you're deciding to do something. I mean, dude, I don't give a fuck. Like, cool, treat you the same exact way, but don't call me a dick for not understanding right away.
100%.
And
don't
don't think of me differently because I don't understand right away.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
That's the problem,
And,
right?
And then you get canceled, and then you get posted on social media, and then, fuck, dude, downhill trend.
And it's so weird. It's like, just like you said, because I don't understand right away. Well, if I don't understand, I have an open mind. You have
Explain.
an open mind.
Yeah.
Let's have a
Please tell me.
conversation
Yes,
about
exactly.
it. Let's have a deep conversation about it. Let's get to the root of the issue, right? And I'm up here calling Leah Thomas a female. I got a fucking problem with that, right? The they, them, and all that shit. Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, see.
I don't understand the whole pronouns, but like, if a biological male transitions to a female, you're like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's fine.
Do
Like
you.
that's totally 100% fine, right?
much so.
For me, it is the sports thing that I have that is my only issue in all of it,
problem.
and it's just where I feel for these girls, and it's just kind of like the whole Caitlyn Jenner thing. She transitions from a biological male to a female, and that fucking year she becomes Woman of the Year. There wasn't any other women on the face of the fucking planet that deserved that more than Caitlyn Jenner that year.
Yeah, really, bro.
Like, really? Like, really?
I know.
Why?
Yeah.
Because Bruce transitioned, like, that automatically makes her Woman of the Year? I'm sure if you even ask Caitlyn, like, today, is that fucking weird? She'd probably be like, yeah.
Yeah.
That was fucking weird.
There's so many other girls that deserve that shit.
100%.
I mean, you can say, yeah, it's brave as fuck for him to do that. Or
Sure.
for her to do that. You
Yeah,
know? Brave as fuck because...
For sure. But that does not make you Woman of the Year.
No, absolutely not.
No.
No.
Women that are fucking solving real world fucking issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Is that brave? Bruce, 100%. Or Caitlyn. Bruce at that time and then becoming Caitlyn, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I am 100% certain if you talk to Caitlyn today, Caitlyn would be like, yeah, that was, sure, I was brave, but that did not make me Woman of the
For
Year,
sure.
right?
Yeah, for sure. She's actually super cool.
Yeah,
Listen
yeah.
to-
Oh,
listen-
100%.
Yeah, listening on the Full Time
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, she's a
super
badass,
fucking
dude.
cool. Yeah.
It's got to be so crazy. Like, I look at Ron, right? Because, at that time, Caitlyn was Bruce, right? And he, at that time, right, was like the epitome of a fucking man, right?
Olympic runner,
Just
fucking gold medalist.
goddamn, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then flash forward, right? Bruce becomes Caitlyn. I was like, this is kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
But just like what we were talking with Jason Ellis, right? The things that he was saying, he goes, this is fucking crazy. This is crazy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for
you
sure.
know, it's
For
like it's
fucking sure.
fucking crazy. You got this badass tatted up skateboard dude, just fucking insane, just epitome of a fucking dude. And he likes to suck dick and make out with dudes. It's
yeah.
like, and I fucking loved it, dude.
for
I
sure.
fucking
For
loved
fucking
it,
sure,
dude.
for sure.
Because he was so open and honest and raw about
And he
it.
was like confident about it too.
Yes.
And like,
yes.
yeah, it's cool.
And what's so cool is that you have someone like Jason Ellis where he, right? Because it's fucking crazy, but that kid that's in fucking Arkansas that is confused with his sexuality and is so nervous to come out about it. And you have someone like him who's like this strong male bravado, right? Saying, yeah, it's fucking crazy,
cool.
but it's fucking cool.
Yeah. And this
Be
is me.
you.
This
This is me, and I don't
It's
give
so
a fuck.
badass. And like, it gives people hope.
Yes,
Fuck, it
yes,
gives hope,
and I
man. It's
love
fucking hope.
that shit.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah,
It's
no, it's super
inspiring. It's inspiring. So it's like if you take this, if you're listening to this conversation and you take what we're talking about transgenders and twist it any other fucking way, you've got the fucking problem.
I know.
Because Tyler and I are sitting here fucking
I'm sure there'll be a
like
clip somewhere.
100%, 100%. So don't literally don't get it twisted, right? Like that's just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Damn, Tyler. All right, as we wrap this up and just kind of say we're excited for 2023, right? This is cool, bro. This was fun.
Yeah.
This
Fuck
this was
yeah, I know
awesome.
we're going longer than I was
Yeah. Went like
So we're going.
that.
Yeah, I know.
So fucking quick. How you doing over there, Troy?
I'm chilling.
Let's go, baby boy.
Chilling, baby.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, Tyler. So 2023. What are you most excited for?
2023. Man. So I know we talked about, I guess not just 2 hours ago. We're not very good at writing goals. We're not very good at planning out life. especially just being 20 years old. It's kind of like kind of just figuring out the best opportunities for myself and kind of just doubling down on what's working and kind of throwing away what's not. A big 2023 goal is just keep building this damn podcast, keep building Ergo, and just keep building myself and in the gym and my relationships and really finding the people that I really care about, and spending more time with the people that I see in my future, and kind of like a cleanse more, just building, man, just fucking building me personally and building the business that I work for. And yeah, I think that's probably the best way I can sum it. Like I don't have an exact goal, I don't have, bench fucking 3 plates, whatever the fuck, but go with the damn flow and just make 2023 better than 2022.
I love that answer, bro. I love that answer. And I had to piggyback on that because I'm the same exact way, dude. It's just like, do shit that makes you happy, right? Do shit that makes you happy. Try new things. Put yourself out there. And for me, this podcast, like I fucking love doing this with you, bro. Like it's been such a blast, and it feels so fucking right. It feels so right, and really continually pushing forward on this. Continually pushing forward on Ergo. For me, I really want to go and get stem cells in Panama, like at the Stem Cell Institute. Like that's for sure going to happen. Yeah. I would say that's my only goal. Everything else is just like doing shit that makes me happy, and fuck everything else. Right?
Sure.
Focus on health, hanging out with
shit
people
that matters,
I love.
man.
Yes, yeah, shit that matters. Let's end it off with that, brother. Yeah. This has been awesome. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you like, let us know what you didn't like, all the love, all the hate, all of it. Just leave it all.
Yeah, let us know what we did good about this too. Let us know if you want to see this more often, because usually I'm behind the scenes and I guess doing the behind the scenes stuff. But this was very fun.
Yeah,
I
man.
think it's I think there's a lot of value to come from this.
Yes, 100%.
I think it was just good shooting the shit and talking as boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boys mean boys.
Yes. Yeah, I think that we should do this like at least once a month or once every other month. Like, definitely. I think it's cool, and I think people will get a lot of value out of it. So yeah, let us know what you think. We love you all. Have a wonderful night, people. Peace. Boom! I was gonna let you do it, motherfucker.
Fuck yeah, that was good.
Get up here. Get up here.
Hell yeah, that was fire.